excited to be here. Just to be completely honest with you guys, I love anytime I get the chance to teach from stage. It's a passion of mine, something I enjoy doing, and I love when you guys engage. So if I ask questions, if I want to raise a hand, just participate with me. Helps me to make sure that you guys are feeling me and what I'm talking about. So today's subject, I'm going to have some fun with. It's a subject that's definitely on a lot of people's mind. And to introduce what we're going to talk about, let me just play this short clip.
Welcome to part 1 of the Artificial Intelligence series. This series is going to break down and document how AI has already begun to make significant shifts in the insurance space for insurance agents everywhere. Whether you like to believe it or not, AI and artificial intelligence has already begun to change the way that insurance agents do business. And if you do not pay attention and you do not keep up with the trends we're seeing, you might very well be left behind and become obsolete in this business. Can AI be a tool used to propel agents and agencies to new heights into the stratosphere like never thought possible previously? Or is it the doom of our industry, insurance agents as a whole, and will be the downfall of our entire industry and sector?
Christian Brindle, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about AI today. Christian Brindle actually got to demonstrate for a lot of you who follow him in the group just some of the capabilities of what it's doing. It's pretty fascinating. This is a still picture that AI took, manipulated his mouth, even his head gestures, and then on top of that, that's not even his real voice. He actually gave the AI an hour's worth of his audio segments, and then it basically sounded just like him. I mean, the enunciation was great. The cadence, the vocal, you could just hear the tonality. It's amazing what AI can do already. I can only imagine what it's going to do just in a year. This is easily one of the fastest growing technologies we have ever witnessed in our lives. And so what I want to do is just go over a couple of things that I think can help you as insurance agents utilizing AI. We got 2 camps. Raise your hands. How many of you have gone down the AI rabbit hole already and seen these ideas of Terminator 2, end of the world, freaky stuff, right? Where just, something bad's gonna happen, right? That's camp number 1. Camp number 2 is gonna be the people who see the potential of AI and say, wow, this tool, if I can harness it, will be so amazing that it's gonna take my agency to the next level. What camp do you guys think I'm in? Amen. Right? You know what? Let's just say 3. There can be a number 3 where you can be both, right? Cautiously aware of what potentially could happen. But here's the reality. This is one of those things where, yes, the potential is there for AI to be used in a very bad way, but it's a very small percentage. Okay? The flip side, there's so many amazing things that AI can help us with to improve our lives. Not only what we do as business owners, but also just in life in general. If you think of just the processing power of what AI can do, I mean, it really truly can help us to cure diseases like cancer that we currently still don't have an answer for, and so many other things that we're not even thinking of right now. But yes, the potential exists that somebody could misuse this and do some bad things. But I'm going to be honest. There's nothing that any of us in this room could do about it. You think about it, to me, I kind of equate it to when they created the atomic bomb. There's millions of people who are just living their lives, doing their thing, going to work every day, providing for their family, and these scientists created this incredibly powerful bomb that can cause great destruction. Okay? So AI, maybe it does have the potential to do some really bad things, but there's nothing you and I can do about that. We just got to hope and pray that our elected representatives are going to do their best to try to regulate this and try to make sure that this doesn't get too out of hand and, in fact, does really benefit us in the best ways possible. In the meantime, I'm going to stick with camp number 2, and I'm just going to try to figure out how can I use this daily to help me grow my agency, scale my agency, and at the end of the day, what we all want is to be able to have a little more breathing room, right? We can only go balls to the wall for so long, and then we need to release the gas off the pedal, and hopefully by then have a team, have a mix of a team and AI, maybe eventually have just a lot more AI, who knows? The point is, that's where we're headed. There's no stopping it. AI is here, and we need to harness its power to level up. So, you guys are all familiar with ChatGPT. November 30th, 2022 is one of the most important dates in our history because that is the day ChatGPT was released to the world. The first AI model that was open to anybody to sign up completely free so that we could start messing around with this thing and see what it's all about. And for those of us who've jumped in, played with it, seen how it works, seen its capabilities, man, I've been having some fun. And if anyone else has been jumping in, you've probably been having some fun too, right? But for those who haven't, okay, we're not going to get super into the weeds during this conversation right here. The idea here is I want to give you guys practical information that you can jot down and right away go home and start implementing if you're still not using ChatGPT. And even if you are, and maybe what I teach you here could be a way to help you streamline what you're doing or to just use it better. So, everybody, you now, after this presentation, will have a new title to add to all the awesomeness that you already are. So get ready to write this down. Get ready to write this down, okay? And then there's going to be a test. You are now all prompt engineers, all right? So on 3, I want to hear you repeat, I am a prompt engineer. 1, 2, 3. I am a prompt engineer. Amen. This is a real deal. This is a real thing. People are just like, what the hell? Don't you need a degree? Like, don't you need to go to school for like 4 years, 6 years to get an engineering degree? Not anymore, okay? Thank you, ChatGPT, because prompt engineering is a real thing. The way that you input data into ChatGPT will make a huge difference in the result you get back. And if any of you have played with it, you'll see exactly what I mean, and I'm going to show you guys examples as we go on. This right here is a simple ChatGPT prompt for those who haven't seen it. Looks just like Google. You go to Google, has a search engine bar, Yahoo search engine bar, same idea. But what it spits out is going to be quite different. So how do we use this? I want to give you guys a basic structure of how to become a good prompt engineer. And so you'll want to, and you know what? I'm just going to spoil it, okay? I want you guys to be able to focus more on what I'm talking about and not write as much. I'm going to give you all the slides at the end. You don't have to worry about it, right? You'll get all the slides I'm going to show you here at the end, and you can use this as often as you want. This is the prompt that we can start with that can give great results. Acting as a role, create a task in a format. That's what I'm going to type into that search bar that we showed you earlier. So, what are some roles? Medicare advisor, Medicare specialist, Medicare consultant, marketer, advisor, best-selling author, journalist, shout out Clarissa Gonzalez, accountant, lawyer, analyst, wealth manager, field underwriter, mindset coach, celebrity name. That's a fun one. Imagine you type in this stuff and say, hey, act like Bill Gates, act like Elon Musk, act like whoever you want, and this thing will spit out answers in the voice and sound of that person, right? It's pretty phenomenal. Now, task. Here's some ideas, okay? Again, these are just ideas. You guys can come off the top with other ideas as well. Ad copy, SEO words, book outline, email sequence, headline, service description, blog post, article. I'm not going to read all of them. You can see them. You can take pictures if you want. But this is the task section. The format. Format doesn't actually have to always be used. Format can be something you need to use if you're going to try to say, hey, I want you to code me something. Because there's going to be some people who say, hey, why don't you code me a program that I could plug into my software so that I can actually have an app or something like that. That's when you would need to use the format section. But for the most part, for how we're going to use it, you really don't need the format. I wanted to put it out there, though, in case some of you geniuses wanted to go ahead and do it. Because I have. I've created a couple of apps already. So let's look at the example. Again, acting as a role, create a task in a format. So I'm going to say, acting as a Medicare consultant, create a Facebook advertisement that focuses on the increasing cost of a Medicare supplement. Now, if any of you guys here in the room don't know who I am, I've had thousands of hours of experience in the advertising world. I've generated hundreds of thousands of leads, and I've had a lot of practice doing this, creating advertisements, figuring out ways that I can get seniors to respond to the things that I'm putting out there. So I've had so many different ways that I've created ad copy, and this basically puts people either on my level and even better than the stuff that I could come up with. That's how crazy it is. Because if you don't know, ChatGPT, what it's doing is it's basically scouring the internet and looking at what everybody has done. Everybody's posts, everybody's ad copy, and it's basically coming up with its own stuff and spitting it out to you and saying, hey, here's some options. And it can give you 3 options, 4 options, 5 options, and you can utilize that to your advantage so that you don't have to be an ad copy pro. You now have ChatGPT on your side. Did I mention it's free? I think I did, right? So, what did it spit out? I'm going to leave that up here for a sec if you want to read it, if you can read it. I don't know if it's too small. But I read through this and I was like, holy smokes, that's pretty good. It did a good job spitting out some ad copy. And again, this is just its first run. Here's some of the cool things that you can do. Because as you see right here, it's doing exactly what I asked. It's spitting out ad copy that's going to hit people's pain points. Because that's one of the main things that you need to do when you're writing ad copy on Facebook or on any kind of ad is you want to speak to a pain point that's going to capture their attention, that's going to interrupt the scrolling that they're doing, looking at family pics and friends pics and who knows what else. This is supposed to interrupt it. So if the headline is sharp, it's going to stop them, especially if that's something that's been on their mind. Even if they're not immediately thinking about, hey, I need to go and search out for Medicare supplement plans. If that's something that's even been on their mind for a little bit, when they see this, it stops them in their tracks. So the ad copy on here is excellent, but I wanted to take it a step further. So look what I did. In that same prompt, after it spit this out, because ChatGPT is like an ongoing conversation. So I'm talking to it. I gave it its prompt, and I said, please make me some awesome ad copy. Boom, it did it. So now, as an ongoing conversation, I'm going to say, hey, that's good, but do me a favor. Please shorten it. And also make it sound like more frustrated, right? That's what I want. I want them to feel that. I'm trying not to curse, but I want to say something, but I want them to feel it. And it did. So now, it shortened it. It shortened it, and not only that, if you notice, it's putting little emojis, a little angry emoji, right? A red sign to help stop them from scrolling, like a little red stop sign, a little angry emoji. It shortened it. It made it more concise, and it made it sound like more frustrating. The verbiage it's using, it's unbelievable. And again, this is solid ad copy. It's solid. So that's one way we can use ChatGPT. Help us creating ad copies for those of you who are considering jumping into the world of running advertisements to get leads. Here's another one, email sequences. One of the big things you're probably hearing from a lot of people who are talking about automations, CRMs, trying to follow up with your clients, trying to nurture your leads. They talk about these email sequences. But many of you guys are probably thinking, well, what do I put in these email sequences? I don't even have a clue where to start. And does it matter what it sounds like? Do I need to have pictures? You come up with a million reasons, and then the next thing you know, you're not doing anything, right? It's that paralysis of analysis. ChatGPT comes in and says, well, let me help eliminate that paralysis of analysis and just throw out some great info for you. So, acting as a Medicare advisor, again, this is the prompt. Acting as a Medicare advisor, create 12 emails that I can make as a sequence, educating consumers on how Medicare works and the Medicare options. Good prompt, right? I mean, I'm being pretty clear with ChatGPT and saying, this is what I would like from you. Let's see what you could do. So here's what it spits out. And again, what you'll see is it did just as I asked. I don't think I put all 12 emails. I think I put 6 of them, but it creates a subject line, and then it creates the body. And here's the cool thing. What you're seeing right here is you're seeing it's a short email. It's not very long. But if I wanted to, I could add an additional prompt because, again, it's an ongoing conversation. And I could say, ChatGPT, do me a favor. This is excellent information, but can it be in more detail? Can you make sure that it's 2 paragraphs per email? You can tell it exactly what you want, and it's going to do it. It's not going to argue with you. It's not going to say, I got lunch coming up, I'm almost off the clock. Like, it will do what you say and do it well. It's freaking scary, but it's awesome at the same time, right? So, and again, I wanted you guys to see that I didn't modify any of the text, so you can see the headlines it's putting out there and what it's saying. Like, if anybody's reading it, tell me, is it saying something incorrect or inaccurate? I mean, everything's good. It's good. Now, the thing I always tell people is that ChatGPT isn't perfect. No one's perfect, not even ChatGPT, but he's probably going to try his hardest to get there. The one thing that I will say is that it's always a great foundation, and then we can build upon it. So if this was my foundation, I can just copy and paste that into my email builder and then add a few more lines to make it feel more like Eric Fierro. It's super easy. But one day, I might be famous enough where I could just tell ChatGPT to talk like Eric Fierro, and it'll pop it out. Who knows? So I wanted just to give you guys another idea, right? So now we've talked about ad copy, utilizing it for ad copy. We've talked about utilizing it for email sequences. What else can we do?
This video is sponsored by none other than Hire Heroes, you guys. Hire Heroes should be at the top of your list when considering your virtual assistant needs. Let's face it, today, hiring employees and hiring staff for your business is harder than ever and more expensive than it's ever been before. And when you're a new up-and-coming business in particular, or even if you're an established business, sometimes the squeeze of the financials of hiring somebody stateside can be incredibly challenging. What Hire Heroes brings to you is an ability to tap into their best of the best team members that you can plug into your business for very affordable prices. One thing about finding and hiring VAs completely on your own is it can get a little sketchy because you don't always know who you're getting and who's working for you. The great thing also about Hire Heroes is they've gone through and done the work for you of vetting the people that you're going to be working with, and the people that you are assigned are only the best of the best and the shining examples of excellence within the company. So you know you're getting top tier talent and you don't have to go through any of the time or headache of vetting people and trying out multiple people to get there. There's a link down in the description so you guys can learn more about Hire Heroes and getting help for your business today.
How about content creation? We all know we're living in a time where content creation is actually becoming more important than even sales. It really is. Because this is how all these people are getting to know who we are. So these little 1-minute short videos that we need to put up every day or every 2 days or every 3 days, like, it's something that's becoming more and more necessary and no longer an option. Because there's some of us who are going to say, well, I don't like my double chin, so I want to avoid the camera. Man, look at this panza, okay? It ain't going to stop me. I was on camera today eating chicken wings with the spiciest sauces, right? You just can't let stuff like that stop you guys, because at the end of the day, the people who are looking for help don't give two shits about what you look like. They care about what you can do for them. They're selfish. They're not vain. They're not like, I only want to work with a 10, right? No, they're selfish. They're like, can they solve my problem? Now, if they are a 10, it's a bonus, but listen, what I'm trying to tell you guys is don't let that stop you. You need to make sure that you are creating content more and more often. For those of you who are uncomfortable, listen, I get it. I've been there. I wasn't the most comfortable on camera, but just like anything, you always get better with practice. None of you in this room, for the first time ever, walked in front of a client, sold a MedSup or a Medicare Advantage policy right off the bat and did the best job ever. None of you. And if any of you disagree with me and say you have, then you should be up here teaching. Because I can tell you from experience, it took me a bit to get better and better and better. And that's when it comes to ad copy. That's when it comes to marketing, advertising, selling. Everything takes practice. But again, the beauty of ChatGPT is it's actually taking this learning curve that would normally be this big, shortening it to here. So what did I do here? Acting as a Medicare advisor, create 6 hooks for topics that I can create content around. Because we all know hooks are super important. The headlines that you see on the YouTube videos or the TikToks, right? Those are real important. I know when I'm scrolling through, I'm just like, man, oh, that caught my attention. That hook is good. So these are some of the hooks that it came up with. Again, it's not designed to be perfect. But for those of us who have that writer's block and we don't even know where to start, now not only is it telling you, hey, here's some hooks, but then it gives you a little blurb below that saying, this is what the hook is about, expand on it. Unveiling the Medicare maze, understanding the enrollment process. Imagine you're someone turning 65, you're confused as hell. You've been sent thousands of pieces of mail, you have a bunch of people calling you, you have TV commercials running 24/7, you're confused. You see a video that has a headline like that, they might be well inclined to want to watch and see what you say. It's a good hook. Mastering Medicare Part D, Medicare versus Medicare Advantage. Like, these are great hooks, and it's at least a good way to get you started in creating content. Let's take it a step further, okay? Because this is already like, man, for any of you guys who have been really hesitant on getting started creating this good, like now you have ideas. You have no excuse. After this conference, you have no excuse. This is just some more headline results. So then what I did to go a step further is I said, well, let me ask you this guy. You guys heard of this guy, Alex Hormozi? This guy's currently one of my favorite people online. This guy's like Jack Diesel trucker, right? He's ripped, but he's so damn smart. Super analytical, which is probably one of the reasons why I vibe with this guy, because I'm very analytical myself. But this guy's so like analytical. He's like, I don't want to waste time in anything because I'm trying to grow my business. So I'm just going to buy 2 pairs of outfits that I'm going to wear every freaking day. And these outfits are going to be good for any environment I go into. He has this on video. He's like, I have this flannel because if it's chilly outside, I'm good. If it's just a little bit warm, I can roll up my sleeves. But if it gets real hot, that's why I got the wife beater underneath. Takes off it, and it has the wife. And he does. He says it's the wife beater, right? He wears these shorts that are made of a material that will dry in 10 minutes, so that if he even gets wet, if he wants to jump in the pool, he knows that by the time he gets out, 12 minutes later, his shorts are completely dry, right? To him, it's an analytical thing. So this guy does the same thing with content creation. He's very analytical. He's done thousands of videos, and so he knows what works and what doesn't. And right now, this guy's also a multimillionaire. This guy has a company called acquisitions.com that focuses on working with $1 million companies and higher and basically helping them to scale faster and then sell their companies. That's his business model now. So he knows what he's talking about. And if any of you have seen his content, it's really entertaining to watch. Like, it's good stuff. So I'm going to share this with you guys. All right. This is, if I want to take a picture of his video script. This is the framework. He starts with the hook, then he leans into a problem, common mistake, recommended approach, an example comparison, a benefit, an actionable tip, and then the conclusion, call to action. That's how he does his videos, and that's how he's engaging, and that's how he's consistent, and that's how he's built such a large following in such a short amount of time. So what I do? Well, that's a lot of work, guys. I'm a busy guy. A lot of you are busy as well. So what I said is, hey, ChatGPT, acting as Alex Hormozi, create a video script on the rising cost of Medicare supplements in the style of Alex Hormozi. This is going to do it for me. So it spits it out. It gives me a script. And the cool thing is, you'll see it, it says right there, it says, camera zooms in on Alex Hormozi as he leans forward, engaging with the audience. Like, holy shit, it's giving me directions. Like, so I'm reading this and I'm like, right? It's a script. Come on. Who can make an excuse that I'm not going to make content when I've showed you this? So it's just like, this is amazing, guys. This is technology. Again, the benefits of how we can utilize this AI. to master and grow our agencies. So let's talk about, I got 11 minutes, another great way that we can use AI. Okay, so the examples that I gave here, they're great, right? Web pages, you can do this with web pages, content that you're going to put on your web pages, your sales funnels, your emails, your media, your advertisement. Let's go a step further. We'll have a little fun with this. What about using AI to help us nurture leads, right? Answer questions from leads, answer questions from clients, answer questions from webinars, help guide people to book more appointments. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. That almost feels like an employee, right? I almost feel like that's kind of cool. Is this possible? Would you guys like to meet Dunford, my assistant? Yeah? Raise a hand. Who wants to meet Dunford? All right. Dunford, I'm going to introduce you guys to Dunford. He's a little shy. He didn't want to come on stage or anything, right? So he's like, Eric, I'll let you record me. So I recorded Dunford to introduce you guys. So I'm going to run a quick video. I'll be talking while the video is going, but this is a video inside my CRM where Dunford is basically talking to a lead. So a lead just came in from Facebook, and I sped this up a little bit because it's the presentation, but I basically told the lead, hey, I want you to do something for me, Dunford. I want you to actually provide the lead some value, right? I don't want you to just cut to the chase and say, hey, give me the zip code and I'm going to try to book an appointment. Answer some questions, okay? Answer some questions, and then after giving some value, then I want you to try to get me that appointment. So this person is asking, hey, can I get Medicare if I have TRICARE? Gives its answer. Hey, what's all this Joe Namath talking about? Why do I see him on commercials all the time? It gives an answer. Here's the beauty, guys. I didn't teach the system to do this. How am I going to know if a person's going to ask about Joe Namath? I have no clue, right? And who knows what other crazy questions that a consumer might have because of all the stuff they're seeing online. So instead, that's where we say, hey, why don't we connect the system with OpenAI and let the AI do the talking? Because like I told you earlier, what does the AI do? It's scouring the internet, and it's finding the answers, and it's coming up with a way to respond in a way that sounds human. And that's the beauty. We want the responses to sound natural language. That's the term. We want that natural language feel. And after providing some information, it went ahead in a natural language format, offered some dates that we can meet together, and booked the appointment. And once it booked the appointment, you see the arrows pointing at, there's the appointment now booked in my CRM, right? That is a very powerful tool. So now I have 7 employees. How awesome is that, right? And then if I maybe make a companion for Dunford, I don't know, Estella, you know? The world is my oyster. But I wanted to show you guys, right? This is possible. This isn't scary, right? This isn't scary. It just shows the potential of what we can do and how we can use this to benefit us. There's so many different applications. I can't go through all of them, but I wanted to show you just a few to hopefully excite you. I want to say, the thing that I get, I don't know how to phrase it if it's a complaint, but at least it's something that a lot of people come up and tell me who see what I talk about and get excited about what I talk about, but then say, Eric, but I'm not tech savvy. Or, Eric, I just don't think I can grasp this technology thing. I get it. I want to give you guys just a little bit of comfort, though. Number one, and Josh Lustig, my buddy back there, he talks about this a lot. He talks about the programming of the mind, right? Negative programs that we run in our head. In fact, he said that he said something yesterday, and he caught himself, and he corrected. He's like, "That's just a program. I'm going to correct that," right? Because that's how easy it actually is. If you keep telling yourself you can't do something, then absolutely you can't do something. But if instead you start looking at things a little bit differently, so that when new information is coming in, instead of viewing it as a threat. Because when you look at new information coming in, if you look at some type of change and you view it as a threat, yes, absolutely, you're going to get scared and you're going to say, I can't do it. And then once you utter that phrase, you absolutely can't do it. But if instead you look at that new information and you say, you know what? This isn't a threat. This is an opportunity. This is a challenge. Well, now you've given yourself hope. And absolutely, you can learn this stuff. My goal, my job, is that with the people we work with, we want to make this process as easy as possible. You don't have to be super tech savvy to be able to benefit from this technology. That's what I'm trying to show you today. Everything I showed you today, you're going to be able to implement right away, right? It's not techy, but you can take advantage of it. You must take advantage of it. Because as Christian said in that beginning video, if you don't adopt what's going on and these new changes, you will absolutely get left behind. The future is here. It's no longer something that's in the far off distance. The future is here, and in fact, it's kind of passing us at this point. We're needing to catch up to the future. It's just crazy how quickly things are changing, and it's my job to try to keep up with it. And once you guys start utilizing it, you'll want to keep up too. And you'll think of so many different ways that you could benefit from this. So, as I promised, I wanted to give you guys a QR code so that all you gotta do, plug in your name and then your cell phone number, and then we will, I think I have it set for tomorrow to send you the presentation, okay? So just wanted you to know, if you want that, that way you have all these prompts that I was showing you, you have the way that you could design it, you have the different ideas. If you guys take a picture of the QR code, save the picture. When you go to open your picture and tap on it, like it will actually prompt you to open the website. I'm done. All right, thanks so much, everybody.
Give it up. Eric Fierro.